Fear. Fear.
You got to understand that thing that you're scared to do, which is it's difficult. You got to recognize that the stuff that's really hard to do, or the things that are really scary to do, have the most return once you do them. I was reading this book, or I already read it, and I have a bunch of notes in it and stuff, but my favorite chapter was I think it's called Fear is the Greatest Indicator. So, Grant Cardone says, sooner or later, you'll experience fear when you start taking new actions at new levels. In fact, if you aren't, then you're probably not doing enough of the right things. Fear is not bad or something to avoid. Conversely, it's something you want to seek and embrace. Fear is actually a sign that you're doing what's needed to move in the right direction. It's pretty much whatever you're afraid to do. If you're afraid to talk to someone, if you're afraid to call the client, if you're afraid to go into that place, if you're afraid to do that assignment, speak in front of that group, that's how you know that's exactly what you got to do. Today, I'm in a sales contest right now, so I'm getting nitty and gritty. I got to come up with leads and good ones, not just, I can't dilly-dally. It's a push period, so I can't just be like, okay, maybe some sales will come my way. You got to create action. So we have these neighbors next door that are perfect prospects. Special forces guy, just, they need the product. They need the knives in their home. So I've been scared to go over there for whatever reason the entire 2 years I've lived here. I think low-key because the wife is hot as hell, but just even besides that, I don't know why, I'm just scared of people that I kind of know. And today, oh my God, I was freaking out downstairs because I told my parents today I was going to go knock on their door. They wouldn't just give me their number. They were like, you got to go do this because, have you ever actually talked to them? I was like, no. They're like, you got to go do that yourself if you're going to do that. And I was like, shit. And I told them I would because I was like, fuck, I gotta go over there. And I couldn't sit behind the what if I don't. I couldn't even think about what it would be like if I did not go over there and knock on their door and at least ask if I could solicit. That's the reality of it. Now, I do have an awesome product, so it's a win-win for both of us. But nonetheless, it was scary as hell, and I was just pacing back and forth downstairs. I was like, damn. Even though it literally took me 15 seconds, and I asked if I could have her contact to schedule an appointment, and she said, yeah, sure. She wasn't the most nice about it, which was kind of frightening, but it worked nonetheless. Secured the contact. She wasn't mean by any means, but she wasn't heartwarming, which is whatever. But still, I secured the bag. I did what I needed to do, and it took 20 seconds, although it was one of the scarier things I've ever done. The other thing is that I feel like the universe kind of just rewards you for doing those kinds of things. If you've ever done something really hard or really scary, the reward is always so much greater than the pain that went into it. It's kind of, if you were scared to jump off a high thing when you were a kid, like for me, I was in Japan and there was this super big bridge. It was probably unsafe, that's what my parents say, but I was afraid. I think they were probably afraid too. Everyone would be afraid jumping off this thing. It's probably 70 feet. And that's a legit estimate because that's how tall it is. It was a 70-foot bridge. And leading up to it, I thought, oh, I can jump off this thing, dude. I'm a badass. I'm in 8th grade. I can jump off a bridge, bro. I'm not scared of shit. And then I get onto the edge, and I probably contemplate jumping 30 times. And it just builds up more and 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 more. The more you wait, the more the fear just feeds on that. The fear feeds on time. Fear loves time. That's the thing you need to remember is you don't want to give fear what it wants. You want to kind of starve it of its food, which is time. So if you conceptualize an idea that you want to do but you're afraid of, the longer you wait, the more the fear just builds up. So you want to eliminate that. When an idea comes in your head, you move from thought to action immediately, and that alleviates the pain of the fear. You want to take away what the fear feeds on? Time. So on the bridge, dude, I sat there for 30 to 40 minutes not jumping, and everyone was just cheering me on. They were like, "You got this. Do it, do it, do it, do it." And it was horrible, dude. I was so scared. And then I jumped. P.S. I feel like I was in the air for 10 seconds. And it hurt like fuck when I hit the water. So it was high as shit. But afterwards, dude, that was the best drive home ever. If you think of a time where you were really scared to do something and you did it, afterwards the reward is so much greater. And the reality about pain or fear is that it fades. You never remember the pain. You never remember the fear. Like when you think about when most people think about their ex, they don't normally think about all the bad things. People don't remember bad. They mostly remember good. So if you can think about something that ended or something in the past, humans don't really hold on to pain like that. They pretty much let go of it. So if you can think about that before things actually go down and realize that the return, once you finish the thing you got to do, is so much better than living with the thought of, because you do remember the pain if you didn't go through with what you wanted to do. That's when you remember it. If you didn't jump off that bridge, then you associate that memory with bad, pain, embarrassment. But since you jumped off it, you mostly just remember the feeling after of how great it was, which is so weird to think about. Like, these people next door that I was afraid of, it's probably, once I do my appointment with them, dude, it's going to be whatever. You just got to remember the universe rewards people who lean into their fears a little bit. So I hope this was valuable. That's today's video. One of today's video. I'm going to make another one.